Everybody. So this is an odd case. Um, Odd in the sense that people have disappeared, and we read about people who have disappeared on this channel, but they haven't found them. They've been searching for them since March 16th. And the reason I'm reading this case is twofold. First of all, the people here, this is Chuck, who is 47, and Charlie, who is 20. Now, Chuck is evidently sort of a famous guy because he is in a band. And I read about this in USA Today that they were missing. Chuck here is a percussionist for the band Lotus. I really don't know a lot about Lotus. I'll be honest. I have not listened to their music, or if I have, I don't know what songs they sing. So, but I presume they're somewhat popular because some people know about them. The thing I do know about this situation is that they were out kayaking and they were in Arkansas. They're from Colorado originally, but they were kayaking in Arkansas on this lake called Beaver Lake. And I do know Beaver Lake. I actually lived in Arkansas for a little while. I know you do not hear it in my voice because they never heard it in my voice either when I was in Arkansas. I would start talking, and literally I was at a party, and one girl just stood up and kind of backed away from me and said, "Where are you from?" That was some of my introduction to Arkansas. Did not stay there. Just was not the right culture for me and this voice. Anyhow, I did enjoy it while I was there. Did loads of hiking. Beautiful state, one of the most beautiful I've been to. And I have lived in several states. I really enjoyed my time in Arkansas. Nice weather too. But back to Beaver Lake. Now when we were in Arkansas, I knew do not swim in Beaver Lake. No, 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 no. A lot of us used to say Beaver Lake was haunted. If I had to choose any lake to swim in, like Beaver Lake would be way down at the very bottom of my choices. So many people have drowned in Beaver Lake. Hundreds. You think I'm kidding? No, 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 no. Hundreds of people have drowned in Beaver Lake. Many of them are never seen again. So here's my public service announcement for the day. Do not swim in Beaver Lake. I'm going to do a whole video on Beaver Lake one of these days. I've already started it. Yeah, no. Couldn't pay me to swim there. Arkansas water is different. We went canoeing one time in Arkansas when we were living there. And we went down this river, we're in the canoes. They have these things called eddies. Now, I grew up in Michigan by the Great Lakes. Lots of water in Michigan. We swam all the time. We lived by a lake. Nothing compared to Arkansas. No. We used to float down the rivers in Michigan. You know, you'd go tubing for hours. It was lovely. Arkansas is a little different. They have these things called eddies, and they swirl, and they'll pull you under. It's like a tornado, but backwards. It's like going in the water, the swirly thing, and you get caught in it, and it just wants to pull you down. And my husband one time was canoeing, and his canoe got sucked down the eddy. And he's hanging onto a tree with one hand and trying to hold his canoe in the other and trying not to get sucked into the eddy and drown, because it'll drown you. And trying to pull his canoe back up because it was a rental canoe and you had to pay like, I don't know, $500 or something if you lost your canoe. It was terrible. So here's the deal. Chuck and Charlie are missing. March 16th, they went out kayaking on Beaver Lake. And their kayaks were found. I guess a jacket was found. They have not been found. So we're just going to do a little reading, just a little reading. I mean, it's not looking good. We both know, not good, not good. This is not a good situation. But they've been looking for him. They haven't found him. Sometimes they never find people on Beaver Lake. They just disappear forever. So tell us about Chuck. We'll ask for Chuck. This could happen, you know, sometimes people do just disappear. Maybe Chuck and Charlie just wanted to disappear and start a new life. Best case scenario at this point. Tell us about Chuck. Well, let's just ask. We'll see where we are with these two. So this is making plans. He did. He made plans to go into the water. You see the water back here. He went to another place in the world. He's got the world in his hand. Looks like he was planning things, going to go have vacation, go have fun. Here's where the decision comes into play. You see, she's got two decisions to make. She made a decision blindly. It was around the water. The water's starting to get a little rough here. And they did say that day a storm came in. So the water probably was starting to get rough before the storm. You know what the moon means, right, guys? You've been reading with me enough. Anxiety, things uncertain, things always aren't as they seem. What appears one way is actually another. I will always say that about Beaver Lake. Beautiful, so pretty, so nice, looks wonderful. I wouldn't go in it. That's just me. Couldn't pay me. Okay, that was Chuck, father. Let's ask about Charlie, the son. All right, Charlie. Now they probably didn't even know because they're from another state. They thought they were having a nice vacation. Let's see what we got with Charlie. We got Chuck over there going in the water. It's not looking good. Making a decision without knowing all the facts. Charlie, we have just going along with Dad. We have water here behind him too. And Page of Cups is, you know, somebody young who's just kind of just out having a good time. He's enjoying the moment. He's having fun. You know, he's over there just goofing off, talking to a fish in a cup. He's not a very serious fellow, is he? He's just having fun. And that's what Charlie wanted to do that day, was just go out, have fun by the water. And we see that. Now we're going to ask, tell us about them. Current physical state. Put Charlie over here, Chuck over there. Let's see about Chuck first. Tell us about his current physical state, meaning breathing, walking around in a body, still warm, in which case he would have went off to start a new life. Seriously, best case scenario at this point. Or somebody could have, you know, who knows? There's always that chance of somebody kidnapping them or something. I mean, probably not. But you just never, listen, we've read some weird things on here, have we not? We have read some weird things. So tell us about Chuck's current physical state. You do get some odd things happening sometimes. Tell us about Chuck's current physical state. I'll go with this one. That doesn't look good. That's the heartbreak card. Not good. Not good. Doesn't look good at all for Chuck. Tell us about Charlie's. You know, this heart can't beat with all those things stabbed in it. Tell us about Charlie's current physical state. And what a sad thing for a kid, you know. I mean, Chuck, he was a little older. 47 isn't that old, but at least he lived somewhat of his life. But poor Charlie. It's about Charlie's current physical state. Well, I think Charlie tried to, like, you know, protect his dad, right off the water, do all that stuff. Looks like Chuck may have, you know, when he went in the water, had a heart attack. Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I'm guessing they must have tipped or something. It looks like Charlie did try to protect his dad from the elements. That's what I see too. So, you know, that's commendable. We can say good things about Charlie. The cold water will make you have a heart attack sometimes. I think that's what happened when Chuck went in. That's what the cards are alluding to. Tell us a little bit more about Charlie walking around in a warm body as a human, or is he in spirit form? He did try. That's real nice. I mean, I doubt his family will ever watch this, but It looks like he really tried to help his dad and protect him against elements. And then we have this card with Charlie, which, you know, things didn't go well, is what I could see. He was super anxious, trying to protect his dad, not being able to see things. We saw that with the two of swords over here. Interesting that they're both blindfolded. You know, they just weren't able to like see their way out of where they were. And Beaver Lake is a big lake. So I think they both just got into a bad situation here. And although, you know, it does look like Charlie tried to really save his dad. That's sad. But I think it looks like he's tangled up or something. It looks like he just got to where he wasn't able to move. You know, sometimes the cold water will do that to you too. It'll start getting to your limbs so much that you feel like you can't even move them anymore. Yeah. How sad. How sad, how sad, how sad. Doesn't look good for Chuck and Charlie, but I'm going to ask about them being found because, like I said, sometimes people are not found in that lake. And, you know, I've kind of like joked about Beaver Lake, but honestly, I never would swim there. Never. I wouldn't. Tell me about them being found. Many, many people are never found there. Tell me about them being found. Tell me about Chuck being found. I guess we'll do one at a time. Tell me about Chuck being found. That's a real positive card. That's the victory card. So I do think Chuck will be found. That's good. At least there's that. Tell me about Charlie being found. Tell me about Charlie being found. I do think Charlie will be found too, because this guy's kind of looking and watching things grow and happen. I hate to say it, but what this is reminding me of right off bat, and this just happens when you read tarot, all of a sudden I'm getting an image of him floating to the surface. You see how this is growing up, 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 up? All of a sudden in my head, as I'm looking at this card with this going up, and he's watching it, I see Charlie floating to the surface. So what happens when somebody drowns is that they get really, really, they sink. They get really cold in this cold water. And what finally brings them back up to the surface is that their body starts releasing gases, and the gases will float the body again. But the problem with really cold water, and Beaver Lake is probably pretty darn cold this time of year, is that it'll keep them under longer. I do think they're going to float to the surface, though. I think they're both going to be found. That's positive, you know? At least there's that. Doesn't look like the greatest thing. Let's ask about where they should be looking. Beaver Lake's pretty big. So we'll see if there's a card. I don't know all the exacts on Beaver Lake. I actually never went there. I just read enough about it to decide never to go there. But tell us about the place in Beaver Lake where they can be found. So I'm just going to show this card because I won't know. I don't know about Beaver Lake, but somebody might. Tell us about where in Beaver Lake they can be found. It's this card right here. Well, that's underwater. That literally is my underwater card. So they're underwater right now. Is there a landmark? How about that? Let's go closest known physical landmark to where they can be found. The people around there would know this landmark. A name, a company, a marina. Tell us about a place around there. Give us a card that represents a place around there where they can be found. Tell us about a place where they can be found. This is the strength card. Again, I don't know a whole lot about that area, but is there something with strength in the name? Is there some sort of something with a lion? You know, infinity? That's above her head. I just believe that. I'll put that out there. Maybe there's something, lion something around the lake. Looks like that might be the place to look. Okay, that is my reading on Chuck and Charlie Morris. I wish I had better news, but I don't. It doesn't look good. The only good thing I could see is that they look like they're going to be found. So that's positive. They've been missing since March 16th, and today is April 2nd. So at least there's that. All right, guys. If you have things you want me to read on, always send me a comment. I will try to get to them. I do have some different ones that I would like to, but if they're like too old or just not enough known about them, I usually don't read on them. Take care. Bye.